Day 3 of the Carl Paladino hearing in Albany featured testimony from the Buffalo school superintendent.
The school board is trying to kick Paladino off the board for making confidential information public. Dave Graber is in Albany with a wrap-up of today's testimony.
Carl Paladino is expected to take the stand tomorrow in the petition hearing to remove him as a member of the Buffalo Board of Education. But should the attorney that represents the board in this case be able to question Paladino, who is a current member of the board? That was a major sticking point during testimony today, and it's expected to be yet again tomorrow. When Buffalo School Superintendent Kreiner Cash arrived in the Queen City in 2015, he testified today that relations between the district and teachers union were filled with animosity. So he stepped in, fired the lead negotiator at the time, and took over bargaining for a new contract, which had expired more than a decade earlier. Eventually, he hammered out an agreement in October of 2016 and admitted today that he asked the board for additional money from the district's reserve fund to seal the deal, but he couldn't quite remember how much.
He couldn't recall specifics of his communications with Phil Moore. He didn't even know how much additional money he had to take out of the reserve fund. Either he was purposely being evasive to do the bidding of the 6 board members who are bringing this petition, or he just simply doesn't recall. But when we're talking about millions upon millions of dollars, you would expect better.
That was part of the information that Paladino released in a January 5th article in Art Voice, and is one of the confidential disclosures that's the subject of the petition to remove him. After Cash's testimony, the petitioners rested its case, and then it was Vaco and Jennifer Persico's turn to begin their presentation, starting with board member and Paladino ally Patricia Pierce. Pierce agreed the confidential information about bargaining with the teachers union should have been public, since the contract had been inked months earlier. But fireworks erupted in the hearing today when it was time for Frank Miller to cross-examine Pierce, his former client.
That's an extreme violation of the disciplinary rule that you cannot take a position adverse to a former client. But I think that it shows how desperate they are. I think that this case has fallen apart.
In addition to testimony from Quinn and Paladino, Commissioner Ilya has asked attorneys from both sides to have their closing arguments ready to go, just in case. That means, like today, we could be in for yet another long day tomorrow. Reporting from Albany, Dave Graber, News 4.
And Frank Miller, the attorney for the school board, called Dennis Vacu's accusation slanderous, not true, and improper. He called it another attempt at misdirection and to create an issue where there isn't one. Miller said it was a slur and slander.